Are you confused about the housing headlines that are out there right now? Is the market crashing or is it actually growing? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you some advice on what to look for when you're reading these articles. And make sure you stay until the end because we're going to go through an RBC report, which is going to go through the status of the housing market right now and their predictions for the rest of the year. So let's get to it. Hi everybody, my name is Connie Sarvanandan and I'm a real estate agent and active investor here in Toronto and the GTA. And today we're going to go look at some housing reports from RBC, but I'm also going to give you some advice about what's happening with the real estate headlines that are out there. Now, if you read a report that says that housing is growing, it's actually true. And if you read a report that says prices are dropping, it's actually true too, because it's all about how you spin the data. So right now, we do have growth, and that's year-on-year growth. So if you're looking at May numbers, May 2022 numbers, and comparing it to May 2021, we are still seeing growth. However, if you're looking at month-on-month, especially from January 2022 and onwards, you're going to see a decline. So the numbers are correct, but you really need to see what you're looking at. So if you're looking at yearly, you're going to see growth. If you're going to look at month to month, you're going to see decline. So you can really spin the articles the way you want to spin them. And so as you're reading them, just make sure you understand the data and what they're trying to say from that data. So with that, let's go to the RBC article to show what's exactly happening across the board, not only in Toronto, but in Canada, and what their predictions are for the future. Okay, so this is the RBC article, and as always, I will link to it in the video below so that if you want to get more details or look at it more slowly, you can see the article directly. So the article is called Canada's Housing Markets Rebalancing Fast. The wind is definitely shifting and becoming a lot chillier for Canada's housing market, including Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, Ottawa, and Hamilton, where we're experiencing significant pullbacks in the home resale activity in May. So what they're saying is for many, this represented the third straight month of decline, and clearly the Bank of Canada's interest rate hikes since March and the prospects of more in the months to come are changing the game in a big way. They are raising the bar for buyers, and they're dragging down the earlier bullish sentiment in the process. So basically what they're saying is the interest rate hikes are playing a very big role in all of this because, not only the interest rate hikes that we've had to date, but the ones that are coming in the future. So we've had, we started most of the pandemic, we had a 0.25 overnight rate, which is, they use the overnight rate to set the prime rate, which is what we use to set our mortgage rates and other lending rates. And so it went from 0.25 to 0.5, and then we had another 50 basis point jump to 1, and then we had another one June 1st of 50 basis point to 1.5, and they're expecting another rate increase July 1st as well. So this is definitely affecting overall affordability, and it's making buyers much less bullish than they have been, especially in July and January and February. So, with the demand softening, inventories are now on the rise in some markets, including Toronto and Montreal, and this is quickly easing what was an extremely tight demand-supply conditions in just a few months. And in most major markets, Canada has returned to balanced territory in May based on sales and new listings reported by local real estate boards. So, what this paragraph is saying is that, for the past 2 years, we've had really tight supply. And so as a result, that has driven demand way up because the inventory was so low. And then in just a few short months, that situation has changed. And now we're in a balanced territory for most Canadian markets. Now, remember what a balanced territory means. There are three markets. It's either a seller's market, a buyer's market, or balance. So a seller's market means that there are more buyers than homes available for sale. And a buyer's market means that there are more homes available for sale than there are buyers, and the balance is right, a balance of between the two. So right now we're in balanced territory, which we haven't seen, and some are predicting we may actually shift into a buyer's market. So we will see. The chillier wind brought home sale prices lower in many markets last month. This group included Toronto, Vancouver, and the Fraser Valley. We expect further reversals of the massive pandemic-era gains in these and other markets in the period ahead. Interest rate hikes straining affordability and weighing on property values, especially in these expensive markets. So what this paragraph is saying is that there was price declines, especially in these markets. And what those price declines are probably going to do, according to RBC, is take away some of that massive gain that we saw during the pandemic, because the gains were historic and they were huge. So they're saying that some of those gains will be lost. And the interest rate hikes are really affecting the more expensive markets more acutely, because a minor interest rate hikes, when you're talking about the prices that we have in Toronto and Vancouver, are quite significant. So it can raise your overall monthly payments quite a bit. So any small interest rate hike definitely affects the more expensive markets more than they would a lower price market. And then this graph just shows the market activity for different markets throughout Canada. And what you'll see is for Toronto, you're going to see the number of resale homes have actually declined almost 40%. Versus a year ago. And then what you can't see here is the new listings are up marginally. There is a yellow line there. You just can't see it very clearly. Now, specifically for Toronto, what they're saying is the frenzy is finally over. It's been a dramatic turn of events for Toronto area market over the past 3 months. Demand-supply conditions swung from close to the tightest on records to nearly as loose as they were in the 2017 correction. High interest rate sensitivity due to the area's steep prices and large mortgage sizes has put buyers on the defensive in the face of Bank of Canada's rate hike campaign. Home sales have plummeted by a third in the past 3 months, including a 9.3% month-on-month drop in May on a seasonally adjusted basis. So what they're saying is that basically they've seen a dramatic shift in the last 3 months from the tightest inventory on record to we're seeing, so much more inventory, similar to what we saw when the 2017 correction happened. And again, talking about higher interest rates really affecting markets like Toronto, because, our prices are so steep that interest rate hikes really do affect us much more than other markets. We also saw that home resales have plummeted by a third in the past 3 months, which means that there was a 9.3% drop just month over month on home resales overall. Now, after spiraling down to historic lows during the pandemic, inventories are picking up, rising 26% above year-ago levels in May. Buyers' sense of urgency has significantly diminished, and so has their willingness to enter into bidding wars. So basically, like we all know, the inventory was so limited during the pandemic that that was part of the reason why there was a bidding frenzy and so many buyers, because there just wasn't enough homes. And so as a result, the prices went nuts. Now, what they're saying is inventory is up 26% versus a year ago. So that's definitely helping overall. And because the inventory is increasing, that's one of the reasons why buyers are also much more hesitant to enter the fray right now, because they don't have that sense of urgency because there are more homes that are available. If you're finding value in these videos, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out, and it also tells us what content is important to you. And if you have any real estate needs, feel free to call, text, email, or WhatsApp, and we'll be sure to take care of you. Or if you want to talk to me directly about any of your real estate needs, my calendar link is below. The MLS home price index fell month over month in both April and May. Single detached home values in the 905 belt, which had escalated the most in the past year, are seeing the stiffest headwinds. Basically, what they're saying is that the 905, so the GTA, everything outside of Toronto, so Toronto is 416 area code, 905 is outside of Toronto. That's where you saw the most amount of gain, and that's where this reduction in pricing is happening the fastest. It's where the areas that saw the most amount of gain. And then they're saying that the city of Toronto, the condos in the city of Toronto, on the other hand, have been more resilient, and we expect prices to remain have been more resilient, but they expect prices to remain on a downward trajectory as buyers gain pricing power. So what BMO is saying is that as these interest rates continue to rise, they're expecting, prices to continue to go down, and the trajectory will just mean that buyers have some more power. So we are definitely in balanced territory right now, and I think what BMO is saying in this is that they're expecting it probably to shift towards more of a buyer's market. And then this is just showing how what they said here about the 9.3% drop in area resale homes for Toronto. You could see it there. So that's it overall. What BMO is definitely saying is that we are rebalancing fast. We have gone from a seller's market to a balanced market, and it may be going even towards a buyer's market. There's other reports that say we're already in buyer's market territory, or we're very close to it. But again, like I said at the beginning of this video, just look at the data that they're presenting, and depending on what data they're presenting, you can see the market in a different light. So year on year, we are still seeing growth. Month over month, we're seeing decline. And depending on what article you're looking at, they're going to show both. I think this article kind of shows both ends of it, but definitely showing the month over month and what's happening overall. So that's it. If you have any comments about anything you heard today, feel free to comment below. We love hearing comments, both good and bad. In fact, somebody mentioned a comment about the article that I used last time and thought it was a little bit biased. So this time I went straight to the source and went to the RBC article directly. So if you have comments like that, we love hearing it, and we'll try to adjust accordingly. Also, if you have any real estate needs, feel free to call, text, email, or WhatsApp, and we'll be sure to take care of you. Or if you want to talk to me directly, my calendar link is below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.